Hi,
Hi, good morning.
good morning. You got the memo on wearing blue today?
We are wearing blue.
You got
Yes,
my memo? Yeah, we're trying
yes,
to
I do.
color coordinate. Just kidding.
Yeah, I kind of was a bit disappointed because I think this top I bought it because it's really lightweight for summer,
Hmm.
but summer hasn't arrived yet. So I've got something underneath it, and it kind of looks like a surgical top.
I was just really liking the color. It's like tanzanite, like a blue purple.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for seeing only the best. Oh,
Price Vision,
yeah, Christ vision. That's it.
lesson 175. God is but love, and therefore so am I. This is a review of lessons 159 and 160. Lesson 159 is I give the miracles I have received. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Do we want to unpack that one first?
Yeah. I give the miracles I have received. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going back to what Jesus is saying in lesson 159. He says, no one can give what he has not received. To give a thing requires first that you have it in your own possession.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here, the laws of heaven and the world agree. But here, they also separate. The world believes that to possess a thing, it must be kept. We don't want to share it
No.
because if we share it, we give it away, we don't have it anymore,
Right.
or we have less of it, right, in giving it away. Yeah. Salvation teaches otherwise. To give is how to recognize you have shed. Oh, sorry. To give is how to recognize you have received. It is the proof that what you have is yours. Now, an idea's just come in, sis. I just want to unpack that
Sure.
as I was reading.
Yeah.
Uh, is that's part of the ego's plan uh, to make matter, substance,
Yes.
uh, to make ideas into substantial form.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, was to separate
Yes.
and was in service to the ego's idea of possession,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
Um, but everything is an idea. Everything, every single thing is an idea. This glass of water
Mm-hmm.
is really an idea that's in my mind.
Yes.
Um, Therefore, if we have
Mm-hmm.
an idea, just have an idea here at the level of form, and then we decide to share that idea with someone else,
Mm-hmm.
does it decrease
No.
or increase?
No. Can I use an example that I like?
Yeah, please.
Um, so if you just think of a number, like any number, three is a good number. You know, that's an idea, and everybody has access to use a three. Three is infinite in its availability to the mind that uses it. But once, say that we tried to reduce three to a wooden figure, we carved out a three, and said this is really three, right? Nobody can use it unless you're holding this three. So
Mm,
therein lies this insistence of the ego that what is all ideas, infinitely available, eternal, can't be changed, can't be lost. This is the way that there you go, right? Nouk
okay.
has the only three, and we're all screwed. All of our math, all of our numbering systems, everything, all of our computations, we're going to be totally lost because Nouk possesses the only three there is on the planet,
And I won't share it.
and she's not going to share it, right? Because she knows how valuable that is. So that separates her from the rest of us. Yeah, but that's really what the ego tries to do by creating matter, because now some have and some don't, and some want to keep it and some want to have it, some try to take it. There's no understanding or experience of one. What one has in truth, we all have. What's in the mind of God is in all minds as ideas. That's how Jesus
So,
multiplied the fish and the loaves.
right. Okay. So this applies to the special relationships too.
Oh, yeah. This is my love. Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's exclusive love.
That's right.
And if the one we love also loves somebody else as well as us,
Mm-hmm.
do we celebrate that?
No.
Or do we want to cut the person's off?
Yes. Cut the
Go up. Okay.
all in the name of love.
And we're not talking about sex here either. We're talking about real love.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, let's get off the subject. Get back to the subject. Um, mm, 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 mm. So he says here that salvation teaches you otherwise. To give is how to recognize you have received, underlined. To give is how to recognize you have indeed received.
Yeah.
It is the proof that what you have is yours. It's in the giving. That's the proof, right?
Mm-hmm.
You understand that you are healed when you give healing. You accept forgiveness as accomplished in yourself when you forgive. That's huge, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So it's in giving what the ego says we don't have, which is the power to overlook our brothers and sisters' belief that they have sinned.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And as we give that forgiveness, we receive it. We receive it. We know, wow, I'm innocent. We recognize our inheritance.
Yeah, and you could really feel into that when someone's trying to give you something, but if they haven't yet experienced it or accepted it for themselves, they really don't have it to give. It's not the Christ in them sharing and extending something. It might be an ego trying to teach what it has not accepted for, it can't accept anything for itself. But in other words, if you don't really have it, if you haven't experienced it, forgiveness and healing, you don't possess it to give and to share, and by sharing it's strengthened.
So when the ego gives anything at all, especially on special occasions, right?
Yeah.
In special relationships.
Yes, more attack.
Yeah. You said attack, yes.
Yes.
Okay. So the ego gives, the ego part gives to get, always gives to get. The ego's never given love, nor has it received love.
Doesn't know it. Yeah.
Doesn't know it. Yeah. Just to make that point again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you recognize, hang on a minute. Yeah. You recognize your brother as yourself, and thus do you perceive that you are whole.
Mm-hmm.
There is no miracle you cannot give, for all are given you. This one, I never really did understand this the first decade of studying the course. There is no miracle you cannot give, for all are given you. What does that mean? Okay. So what that means is that God has already given us everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we need to wait for God to give us some of his gifts or all of his gifts.
Mm-hmm.
He's already given us all of his gifts, but we won't have the felt experience of reclaiming those gifts
Mm-hmm.
until we give them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's when we really, really experience that, right? As you know, sis, with
Yes.
our holy relationship,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't know about this part until we joined in that, right?
Right. Yeah, you don't know what you are because you've been so busy trying to pretend that you are or not the Christ. And then when you're in holy relationship, what comes forth when your brothers joining with you in the light of your mind, you start to recognize, wow, here's contrast learning. And my TTC families have always provided me that opportunity to allow, Christ to speak. Well, if it was there to share, to come through, it must be in my mind, which is so inapposite to what Coreen is, this concept of Coreen. So, yes, as you extend it, well, where did that come from? It must be what I truly am.
Mm-hmm.
What a gift.
Yeah, and that's why the TTC class is so powerful when we join, and the other classes too, where we're all joining, because we can see it and it can feel it. And it's not just Coreen or me or our other beautiful facilitators who are sharing, it's everyone is sharing. And they speak, and the Christ speaks through them.
Yes.
And you can feel it. It's like it just magnifies as the Christ speaks through them. They realize, my God, I must be the Christ.
Yes.
The Christ is my true identity. Yeah. And it's in giving that part. It's in giving that part that we realize we are that. And I hate to damn the special relationship so much, but I have to say this again. If we only have special relationships around us and we're not joining with other like-minded people who have the same truly common purpose of awakening to the Christ we are, then we're going to be very, very limited in our experience of extending the Christ we are with no holds barred, right?
Right.
Really letting it rip.
Mm-hmm.
Because in our special relationships, we hold back.
Right.
Because we're afraid that, oh, they might think I'm insane or whatever. Yeah. So I won't express the Christ.
That's right.
I will just join them in meaningless banter and resent the hell out of them
later.
Behind closed doors.
Well, that's the agreement we make with everybody in our special relationship, that we make bodies and the ego the priority and the God of that, the goal of that relationship. While, so we don't have permission to be vulnerable and transparent and to be real, right?
Right.
It's about keeping that mask on so that the holy instant does not occur. Do not shine your light. Be a body. Yeah. And so if you're only surrounded by special relationships, you're only specially relating and nothing real is happening. And the crime of that is that you never come to understand what you are, because you'll only know it as you give it. No opportunity to give, no opportunity to know yourself. Capital S.
Well said. Yeah. Well said. That's going to tear a hole in the ego's, you know what?
Well, because I'm not wallowing in this hell for no reason. I'm using this opportunity to just take it down.
Thank you. I'm right there with you, sis. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's keep going. Mm-hmm. Okay. So Jesus says about the gifts that God has already given us everything, right? And the way to reclaim all his gifts is to give them away. That's how we do it. Just give it away. Receive them now by opening the storehouse of your mind where they are laid and giving them away. He says it here. Yeah. Okay. So Christ's vision is a miracle. It comes from far beyond itself, for it reflects eternal love and the rebirth of love which never dies, but has been kept obscure. Christ's vision pictures heaven, for it sees a world so like to heaven that what God created perfect can be mirrored there. The darkened glass the world presents can show but twisted images in broken parts. The real world pictures heaven's innocence, which is what we are. Right? Christ's vision is the miracle in which all miracles are born. It is their source, remaining with each miracle you give, and yet remaining yours. It is the bond by which the giver and receiver are united in extension here on earth, as they are one in heaven. Christ beholds no sin in anyone. What he's saying there is Christ beholds no body in anyone. Right? We look beyond the body and we see the light that is there. And in his sight, the sinless are as one. Their holiness was given by his Father and himself. Christ's vision is the bridge between the worlds, and in its power can you safely trust to carry you from this world into one made holy by forgiveness. Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, it's gorgeous. And I'm really just feeling, like right now we're seeing through a darkened glass at twisted images that appear in fragmentation. That's all we're ever encountering. And yet there is a way to shine the light, and that is, like we mentioned when we started, Christ vision. And that is available to all of us because it's already within us. The means is within us, our true identity. So, but we won't know that. You'll never know that that's in you, available to you, and the miracles that'll flow from that recognition until you step out and are willing to extend it and share it with a brother, to ignite it, to recall, that little spark, let it blossom into this flame. I just want that. I'm not going to look at twisted images in a darkened glass. I'm going to go right into the light that's in my mind and make the gift, to give it and then to have it, right? To share it is to keep it, to keep the knowledge of your true identity. And that's piercing this whole darkened dream with the light. And that's the only gift we can give, and that's the only time reality ever shows up. And that's the miracle, where we see something that looks so devastating turn in a moment. Your true perception of something erroneous, when you bring it to the light in your mind, that is instant healing. That's correction. That's where we go, wow, how did that happen? It's actually a natural revealing of what was always there. You brought the light. You brought the lie, the illusion, to the light in your mind, and correction was made in your mind. Yeah, this is all we can do. This is our function.
Well, all of that puts paid to the spiritual ego's idea that A Course in Miracles is a self-study program.
Well, no, because it's the love of it's the love for our brother that even is the impetus to even want to do that. The mythical me wants to stay privatized and what it knows and withhold and be important to others as separate beings. For my desire to look beyond bodies, it's because I'm being moved by love's impulse. I want to know what's there. That's transcending self-interest. I'm willing to forgo what Coreen thinks in that moment. Forget Coreen. I want to know what God's knowing right there. Transcending self-interest, wanting to join truly with my brother as he or she is, and not some story that they might be under, be deluded by in the moment, or I'm deluded by in the moment. Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, sis.
Yeah, we have to receive it to give it.
Yeah. I give the miracles I have received. And I think there's a second part to this lesson.
Oh.
It's my turn now. Ha ha ha.
Go for it.
I just caught you out. So good. Okay. All right. And the second part to lesson 175 is a review of lesson 160. I am at home. Fear is the stranger here. Powerful, powerful lesson. Another one, right? God is but love, and therefore so am I. So fear is the stranger here. Fear is the stranger here. Not just sometimes, but in every single moment. In every moment, fear is the stranger here. Am I judging in this moment? Well, that's fear. I'm concerned for my daughter right now.
Mm.
That's fear. I'm concerned about my finances right now. That's fear. You know, what? Pain, physical pain, that's fear.
Sure.
So Jesus is saying here, I'm at home. I am at home. Fear is the stranger here. Fear. Fear is a stranger to the ways of love. Identify with fear, and you will be a stranger to yourself, of course.
Right.
That's mythical me. Mythical me is fear, right? And so we will be a stranger to our holy self,
Right.
whom we share with all of our brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
That is the Christ, the
Yep.
light of the world.
Which is
And
love.
thus, if you're a stranger to yourself, and thus you are unknown to you. That's what mythical me is, unknown. Well, it's unknown, right? Isn't it, sis?
Yes.
Yeah. What is your holy self remains an alien to the part of you which thinks that it is real, but different from yourself. That is the ego. Who could be sane in such a circumstance? Who but a madman could believe he is what he is not, and then judge against himself?
Yeah.
The presence of fear is a sure sign that you are trusting in your own strength, in the ego's strength. Of course, the ego has no strength, so we're trusting in the ego's weakness. When we believe that fear is real, that's the key, believing it, right?
Yes.
Because the temptation is always there to feel fear,
Right.
to believe fear. The temptation's always there, but we've got to catch it at the gate.
Yeah. So love is what we are, and as soon as you experience fear, they can't be in the same mind at the same time. So you're looking at those dark and twisted images, and you've decided that the ego's decided what those are and has determined them as a threat. And we've just that's a real threat, and we're in fear. And love cannot be experienced. That's the whole point of the ego thought system and its foundation of fear. It makes sure that we're not present and at peace to receive and hear the voice, our voice of the Holy Spirit, our right mind. So that's the way that it just shunts us off. It clips our communion off with God as soon as you feel fear. It doesn't matter. Fear has a billion different forms. But he says, thank God it's just one thing. You think you're separate. So your mythical me, and mythical me is fear. That's all
Yeah.
it does. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's it. Thank you, sis. And Jesus says here, chapter 2, section 2, is when you're afraid of anything, you're acknowledging its power to hurt you. Remember, where your heart is, there is your treasure also. You believe in what you value. If you're afraid, you're valuing wrongly. So it's what we value.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's a tough one.
But it's true. We've seen it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm
We
just
value
recognizing
it,
when it
right?
comes down to where you're really desiring to awaken and the ego uses its so-called biggie. There is no hierarchy, but we all have a thing that seems to get us. And then you recognize that when you have this so-called ego backlash, that really there is that decision being made. There is a fear of our holiness or a fear of love. And so, it rages to give us a big infusion of the fear that keeps mythical me safe. But we've just invited the stranger in again. What we are is love. We don't have to battle fear. We just have to disidentify with the one who's feeling fearful. That's not me.
That's the key, disidentification. Disidentify with it. That is not me.
I am love. I am at home. I am at home in God as God created me.
That's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And when we really choose that instead of the fear in that moment,
Yeah.
Holy Spirit has the permission to heal our mind, because we've willed with him.
Which has all power. That's the
All
power.
power.
Yeah, God's will.
We don't need to go into the story. We don't need to dredge it all up, unless, of course, that's guided.
Mm-hmm.
But when we really, really join his will in saying no to fear,
Yeah.
his will is done, because it is our higher will, our only will. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was something else I was going to add to this part where, oh yeah, body thoughts, right? Behind all body thoughts, behind all fear, is the belief that we are a body.
Right.
Only a body can be fearful.
Right.
Only when we identify as a body can we be fearful. Jesus reminds us in chapter 2, section 6, he says, the presence of fear shows that you have raised body thoughts to the level of the mind.
Mm-hmm.
What he means by that is we have raised body thoughts above God, above our holy self, above the Christ. We've raised the thoughts to that standard.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, Jesus says, this removes them from my control and makes you feel personally responsible for them.
Mm-hmm.
This is an obvious confusion of levels. You know, you can feel into that, right? But suddenly, when we believe a fear is real, we also take it on that we're responsible for solving it.
Yeah. Yes. Somebody better save my life. I need to do something about this problem because this body is what I am. My mind is in this body. It's making rules and conditions for me that I'm a victim of. And now I need to do something about this, right?
False responsibility.
Yeah.
That's a biggie for the ego.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you do? It's the recognition that the body is merely an image in mind outside of body, and that now you have a decision. Do you place that mind in service to ego, which is going to abuse the body and use it for guilt and separation, or do you place the mind, the body under divine mind? This is repurposing what you use the body for. Holy Spirit, use this body as a communication device. Do not let me make it a substitute God. This is not what I am.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I must do that 1,000 times a day.
I am at home. I am at home.
Thank you. One last important reminder. Jesus says this: the correction of fear is your responsibility. Okay? When you ask for release from fear, you are implying that it is not. And we all do it. We all go, where are you, God?
Mm-hmm.
Holy Spirit, where are you? Take this fear from me. Right? You should ask instead for help in the conditions that have brought the fear about.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell's he talking about? These conditions always entail a willingness to be separate. At that level, you can help it. You are much too tolerant of mind wandering and are passively condoning your mind's miscreations. He says it right there, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. So we need to take accountability for having obviously wanted to be separate in some way, and no guilt. But that's that. Just admit to that and really, really want that gap closed. It's like the gap diagram.
Right. Yeah.
And remembering that I am at home, fear is the stranger here. God is but love, and therefore so am I.
So, sis, is he saying, when he says that that last part that you were just reading, like anytime that we are mythically me identified, anytime that we're valuing anything within this gap, right?
Yeah.
Jesus can help us with those when we offer this over to him. But the choice for fear is the choice for separation, right? It was it was the tiny mad idea of what would it be like to be separate, and that was our choice. That's a will that we invoked. The desire in our mind seemed to give rise to this. So Jesus is saying he can help us with the forgiveness and accepting atonement of, everything in the gap. But we've got still this so-called free choice or free will to decide whether I want this or not, right? He's not going to take that from us. This has to be a voluntary surrender. I'm done with this. I want this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, sis.
Yeah.
Thank you for driving that one home.
Yeah. That had raised some confusion for me before. And so I just wanted to clarify. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
What a beautiful lesson.
Good. Yeah.
Good review, huh?
It was. I am at home.
So,
Fears the stranger here.
so are you coming for dinner?
Yeah. I'm here in about 3 hours. Yeah. 2 hours.
So good.
Yeah.
Early dinner, really early.
Yeah. We're going to stop together. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to spend the afternoon together and have a beautiful dinner together.
Good. I'm looking
forward. You're all welcome too, by the way.
Yes.
Beautiful family.
You'll be eating with us.
Yeah.
Thanks, family. Thanks for being here. We love you. We appreciate you. If you haven't signed up for the Thursday night text studies, I hope you'll consider it. Open your thought and ask for some guidance about it, but would love to have you join me. There's a link below in the resources page under show more or the description box, depending on what device you're using. Click on it and register and come join. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain, and it's free. So please come. All right. Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.